really funny if Edward had a sense of humour. Unfortunately, he isn't famous for his sense of humour. And what he did was shocking. Even now, it's still shocking what Edward did. He was capable of acts of great brutality. He had his soldiers round up the 3,000 men, women and children of Berwick. He made them watch as their town was burnt to the ground in front of them. And then he had them all killed, even those who had done nothing against him. Leaving their bodies to rot in the streets, he invited 30 powerful Scottish noblemen to come and see how ruthless he could be. They were deeply shocked and intimidated at what Edward had done. They signed the document, agreeing that in the absence of our king, Edward had authority, but never agreeing that he was our king. Edward didn't care about that. His army swept up to Stirling. They took control of the castle, and by doing so had control of movement all over our country. And over the next few months, the next 18 months or so, Edward stole items that were important to our nationhood and independence, including the Stone of Destiny, which you can find in Edinburgh Castle. We've got that back now after 700 years. Stolen property, but we recovered it. It was the stone upon which Scottish kings were crowned. Edward took it and put it under his own throne. And the Scottish people found themselves oppressed and their country occupied. These were dark days for Scotland. They needed leadership. Now, you might find this hard to believe, folks, but the people who should be showing leadership, like the nobles, the equivalent of our politicians, well, they are taking bribes from the King of England. Imagine that. Your leaders putting their